So good morning, welcome back to the Rural Project. So today it's a strange day here on the Rural Project land. So we've had a whole week here of temperatures over 30 degrees, very high humidity into the over 90%. Like at the moment it's 96, and yet it's a really cloudy, really not that warm day. It's about 20 degrees, that's all. We've had it over 30 each day. Yesterday we got absolutely smashed by a storm. We were talking 60 millimeters of rain in an hour. So that's 60, 2.25 inches of rain, something like that. So today it's going to be a little bit different here. Bit of a decision as to what to do. It's going to be too wet and muddy everywhere to start messing around and making a lot of mess. So I've got a few jobs to do inside. So I've got the job that I need to do. So that's the top of the water tank. As you can see, it was painted last year. And that's the side of the water tank. So we've got the job that I need to do, which is jet wash the side of this water tank and get it prepped for painting later on once things dry out, versus the job that I really want to do, which is get down there with the excavator, pull out the last trees that have fallen down and do a bit of a tidy up. But there's also another internal job that I could get on with, which is make a start on retrofitting the wider axle and bigger wheels onto the black diamond log splitter. So we have the jobs that need to be done versus the jobs that I want to get done. I do really need to get on and jet wash the side of the tank and get that all prepped. I tried to do it at the end of last year and it just wasn't possible. So I really need to get it done before summer's over this year. But let's have a quick walk around and see what sort of damage we've got out there. This gives you an idea of how much water, how much rain we had. So that rain was in a 1 hour period. That's it, all happened in 1 hour. The tracks you can see here, these are from Kangas. That's their tail just scraping on the floor there. But we've got the drain off to the side here, has worked well. A lot of erosion though, so as you can see down there, it looks like the drain at the bottom has actually clogged up again. Here it has, and therefore I've had water overflowing onto the turning circle area. So first of all, this has performed as expected. The water's come down around, gets to a bit of a flatter area, and then basically just flows on down. Yeah, now this is a shame. So it burst through there. There's a Kanga's gone and hopped in here. So underneath here somewhere is my drain. I need to just hop up the hill and grab the shovel and we'll dig this out. Just exposing the edges of the wood frame. I'm hoping the drain is, the drain box, the pit is not completely filled. I'm just expecting it to be covered in a layer of leaves and not letting water through. Yeah, that is the case. So obviously what you get, the first rain that comes down, the leaves are sat in the ditch, the leaves all get washed down, cover the grate, and then it kind of seals it, and basically after that, as the rain gets heavier, the soil starts coming down and this box just fills up. Now over time this will stop. Either that ditch will get so deep it goes down to China and finds a hole down to the middle of the earth, which is unlikely, or the ditch will, it'll get to solid soil. End of summer, autumn, winter, we'll get grass going in that ditch. So when we get future rainfall, the grass will hold the soil together a bit better. Right, I think what we'll do, we'll leave that for a while. I am soaked. This camera is actually steaming up because of the humidity that's going on. Like I say, it's close to 100 degrees, 100% humidity today. Just from that little bit of digging, I am dripping. So, right, I'm going to carry on walking down the creek, get to where the excavator is on the dam, and I'll go about pulling a tree that's fallen into the dam out, and we'll walk all of that back up the hill. Okay, we're down at the dam. This has come up at least a foot. It hasn't actually reached the overflow yet. Hopefully you can see that. So it's just a few inches below the overflow. Yeah, it's come up at least a foot, so that massive downpour certainly added to the water level in here. So the tree that you can see in the middle there laid in the water, I want to pull that one out today. And there are two big branches up there laid on the upside of the path. I want to grab hold of those and maybe walk all three, depends on how big that one is, but walk all three of them out with the excavator and I'll be done. Tree's been in there a while and it stinks. All those leaves rotting down. So I don't think there's enough wood in there for firewood to be bothered. So I'm going to just put it in a pile of things that need to be chipped and head up the hill, grab those two logs, and we'll walk this excavator back to the shed. Very conscious I'm back here at the shed now, so I brought these two logs up and done what I want to do, not what I need to do. But I think it'd be rude not to cut these up now, since I've brought them all the way up here, and then I'll get on with the job I don't want to do. Yeah, I changed a little bit blunt. I'll go give it a sharpen and be right back. So a quick sharpen and this thing is good to go again. Okay, so that's the firewood cut up. So no firewood gods have been angered, I'm leaving firewood uncut. Now it's time to get on with the job I need to do, which is jet washing. So got the generator out, the jet washer ready. I'll just go get hoses and get all this lot connected. But I really want to be doing this job. Putting in the big boy wheels onto the log splitter. Want to do? Need to do. Want to do? Need to do. Let's get on with the need to do. Okay, let's make a start on the job. I don't really want to do, but I really do need to get it done. As you can see, this is all the sort of staining that's on there, just from years of water running off the top. Got paint already. Plan is get all of this jet washed today, and then yeah, it'll be a fair few weeks, I would think, before I'm going to be able to get back. But we should have some nice warm dry weather next week, and all the outside there that I soak while I jet wash it, it'll all dry out, and I'll be able to come one night with a roller and get it all rolled. Right, let's get everything set up and we get into this one. Okay, are we ready? Jet wash, check. Water supply, check. Power supply, check. Let's get jet washing. Power supply not check. Somebody didn't turn the breaker on, did they? Back in a sec. Okay, try again. Power check. Jet wash check. Right, let's get this thing on the go. Get the time lapse fired up, and we'll get this thing jet washed hopefully in no time at all. So as you can see, this is working really well. This is a dirty patch on the right and the clean on the left. Really happy with that. So I started prepping for this several months ago. Came round, brush cut all the way around the bottom of the tank, and then came round with weed killer as well, just to try and get everything to die off. A few things have started to go back over there, but we'll just pull those off as we go. Right, let's keep going. Really happy with this up to now. Right, okay, so that's the water tank cleaned. Strange how, yeah, obviously, well, you saw it. You saw how it cleans up. Yeah, I still get these black streaks. I've tried jet washing that individually rather than with a spinning head. Doesn't make any difference. So I don't know. Don't really know what that is, why it's like that, but it's a heck of a lot cleaner than it was. What I did think of is I should have done this on a stinking hot day rather than a cloudy, rainy day and humid day. But anyway, this is done. I'll now get this, I'll get all of this cleaned up and get onto a job that I want to do. Into the garage, and yeah, we'll have a go at putting the big boy wheels on the log splitter. Okay, so project number 3 for the day. So we're getting on pretty well. This is a job that I want to get on with, putting the big boy wheels onto the log splitter. So what we've done, as you can see there, I've got the tyres, the rims connected up through to the axle and all tightened up. So what we'll do is we'll bring the log splitter into the middle here, create ourselves a little bit of space, and then we'll go about working out where I need to position that axle on the body of the log splitter. Number 1, to lift it up, and number 2, to change the centre of gravity. Remember, with this log splitter, it's extremely back end heavy. I do want to try and adjust that if I can, but I don't want to create tons of work. I might not be able to adjust the axle properly to change that centre of gravity without having to build all sorts of complex brackets and everything. So that is how the log splitter stands normally. As you can see, pretty level. Now when I go in and I actually put these higher wheels on, I'm going to raise everything up. I'm going to mess up the stand at the back end, most probably mess up the way the jockey wheel works as well. All that'll have to be adjusted. So, as you'll see at the moment, the axle is literally just welded onto this box, and that box is actually the hydraulic oil tank. My thoughts are to put the axle this side, so still welded on the underside, but just run it along this very edge. I'll be pushing the wheels out wider, I'll be lifting everything up. We'll see how that goes. So what I'll do, get some spanners out and we'll get these mud guards taken off. Only a couple of bolts and these things will be removed, and then we'll, yeah, I think I'll put the whole thing up on axle stands at this next point, so I can take the tyres and wheels off this one, and then we'll start positioning the new wheels. Let's see how we go. Got the mud guards off. Very easy, just 3 simple bolts, get rid of them. Right now, bearing body is off. Lock nut or castle nut is being removed. This is all loose, so I will get the axle stand now, put that underneath there, and then we will lift this wheel off. This thing has run out of oil. Okay, let's take 2. I just put a bit more oil in this. Can't complain too much. I have had it for 20 years, so the fact that it's lost a bit of oil, not a big issue. The last another 20 years, I'll be happy. Right, let's we'll do the same on the other side and bring you back in a second. Right, let's get these wheels underneath the log splitter. So the only way of doing that is with a bit of farm fit. Oh. 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 We'll get this lifted up even more, and then you get those wheels underneath. One thing I've noticed is this lifting table is going to clash with the tyres, but to be honest, I'm not too worried about that. Most of the time, in fact 95% of the time, I purely use this as a table. The odd really big log, I'll use the lifting table to lift it up. So if I just need to get the chainsaw out and do a little bit of noodling and split it in half, it's not a big issue. Getting this whole thing lifted up so I'm not bent over all the time, that's actually more important to me. So let me play around with this a little bit more, see how we go. Okay, this thing is sitting on the axle. So they're actually sat on each other right now. And not too bad, not too shabby, because that's the full extent of the jockey wheel. And this thing's pretty level, and then this stand is actually just touching the underside. So I will need to make one of these a little bit longer, or somehow do a little bit of work on this. Maybe I might take that off and reposition it. I might actually reposition it right up here somewhere. Anyway, it's good. I think what I'll do is I'll start sort of prepping this now for a bit of welding, and just at least get a few tack welds in place, just so this is a little bit safer, because I'm certainly keeping my distance right now. I mean, this thing is all just balancing, that's just resting on there, and this thing has got nothing supporting it really. It could easily fall over. Right, let's get the welder out, get some tack welds on there, and I'll feel a lot safer, and then I'll work out how I'm going to actually permanently secure it. Obviously I'll be welding it, but whether I end up bringing in some straps of metal down here in a few places, or whether I just put a bead down the edge there, I'll look into that. Let's get a few tack welds on it first, and then start messing around. So what's that saying? Grinder and paint makes me the welder I ain't. So this ain't done bad. Sort of put a tack weld all the way along here. It's not the best, I know that. Unfortunately, with the generator I've got, I actually can't crank the amps up. So I ended up sort of spending a fair bit of time trying to heat up and melt this steel, the axle. That's extremely thick compared to the tank material. But listen, it's done. I'm happy with it, the way it works and for what it is. I'm going to have a little look now to see what I can do with this stand, see how I can adjust that, and then I'll bring you back. Right, okay, so I've just done a little bit of messing around, and what I will say is objective achieved with regards to changing the centre of gravity. So now this is nose heavy, which is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. I was sick of it tipping up. The stand, yeah, not going to be able to save it, unfortunately. I'm going to take that home. It doesn't want to be here. It actually does want to be right on here. So I'll take this home, take a few measurements, and then I'll try and get some steel similar size to this and weld onto the end, and then get another piece this size so I can weld on here, and then we'll have that connected up that way. where it is now, with changing the centre of gravity, it's too close to the axle, so it doesn't doesn't really give a good support. It really does need to be more out here. Well, I think I need to have a little treat and get this thing out, get it on the back of the car. And some of that wood that I sort of blocked up earlier on, we'll give that a little split. Obviously now with the changes I've made, this log split is going to be faster and stronger than ever before. So let's get into it, give it a little test, and then we'll bring this back into the garage. It's like graduation for the log splitter, with his big boy pants on. Now he's coming to homecoming. Well, let's just hope that on camera these wheels don't fall off, because my welds are so bad. Well, this rural project has had it all today. We've had excavator action, chainsaw action, welding action, jet washer action, and then finally a little bit of log splitting action. Alright, so hopefully you've enjoyed this one. It deserves a like, it deserves a big thumbs up, you know it does. So yeah, thank you for watching wherever you are in the world. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've enjoyed having a little bit of fun today. I certainly have. I feel like I've got plenty done. So join me next time, because there'll be more mini projects, things to do, jobs here on the Rural Project.